My name's Michael Anderson. Friends and family call me Mikey. So growing up, I went to church like on the holidays. I always knew there was a God, but I guess I didn't always agree with the ways he worked. Got up until about my junior year, kind of chasing some older women, which in that aspect, when they're going to downtown Akron and going to college parties, that's where I would go as well. I was traveling. I worked with the fair for 4 years. I went up into Boston. You're living up there and you're out on a lot with all these campers. It's like you're camping every day for like 7 months straight, and then you can go out and buy some drinks with all the friends, and it was just kind of like always something to do. You could do whatever you wanted, whenever you wanted, it felt like. So how I met Jimmy was one day I had a baseball game. I came home, I was still in my uniform. I jumped on my bike and I was just kind of riding around the neighborhood, and I just seen him and a bunch of other kids like playing football or something in this side yard. And then I just stopped and said, "Hey, what's going on?" I introduced myself, and just kind of from there on out, we like hung out every day for years. Jimmy was a wild one back in the day. He was good at getting away with it, to say the least. We kind of parted ways when I was working out on the road for a while, so I would just kind of only hear from him here and there. I come back and see him finally after like a year or two maybe, and it's just a complete change. He was getting married. I was at his wedding. He settled down. Jimmy was not settling down like back in the day. Since he's given his life to Christ and just following on that path, so many blessings in his life has came. Jimmy would even call me sometimes and just say, "Hey man, God put you on my brain today. I was just calling to see if you're all right." And that's pretty crazy how that works on a day that I was kind of going through it, and that kind of touched me and made me think, okay, he is wondering about me. And I literally remember I was at a breakfast joint. So my buddy hands me the phone, and it's my girlfriend. I just kind of answer. I'm like, "Hey, whatever, what's up?" And she is crying hysterically, and she tells me she's pregnant. And I'm not even joking. When I heard that, there was a bunch of people around me. Everything went quiet. Everything was in slow motion. I was just sitting there like a movie scene almost, and I'm with the phone up to my ear. Wow, now what? This got real. This got real quick. I just kind of restarted. Literally hit a reset button. We came back to Ohio after the season. We had our child here, and I was just kind of starting from scratch. But at this time, it was just kind of rocky relationship on both ends, and she's from the state of Maine. So there's a lot of distance between her and her family. Around October of last year, we gave it a shot. We moved to Maine. Things just kind of got worse. It got bad. A little under 2 months of me being there, I flew back to Ohio. I didn't have my daughter with me. I was really worried about not seeing my kid and what was gonna happen, especially with so much distance between us. It was driving me insane, pretty much. I'd go down to the laundry, do some laundry in the basement, and just see one of her little socks just sitting. Oh man, that killed. That was tough. It's what else could I turn to at that point? And it was just rock bottom. I met up with Jimmy almost instantly. He already knew what I was going through. We were sitting in front of my house in the driveway. He was dropping me off, and we said the prayer. I accepted him into my heart, and I just immediately felt something, like I said, a comfort, more faith and hope. And I was just thinking hey, my situation is so messed up right now. If you can get me out of this, then there's definitely something there. It's out of my hands, and I trust you. I'll let you do your work. Yeah, and I got him back, and since then, my girlfriend, she comes to church with me. Our relationship is better than it's ever been. I started praying more. I was reading more too, watching more videos on it, and I just felt something inside me. I wake up happy. I have a good job, a good sales job now, stable, full-time job. I just don't really even stress anymore now. I'm thinking about it. I'm just happy. Things have just drastically turned around so much that is impossible to think that I could have done that on my own.
Just seeing how Mikey was pre-Christ, and just having the opportunity to be able to share Christ with him and him to accept Christ, and just to see where he's at now and just how he's growing along that journey is just so encouraging and incredible to see is his best friend. I just encourage people, if there is that person in your life that God's putting on your heart that you think they would never, ever come to Christ in a million years, just to keep on pursuing them, Pray for him continually, because you just never know how God can touch a heart. Should we hug it out at the end or no? Like, just like this?
Mikey, I now baptize you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.